You know, when I brought it out here today to shoot for the first time and I loaded up the cylinder and first click.
By dry firing it with the safety on, or at least I've done it about 5,000 or 6,000 times, and nothing is broken on the gun.
Let's take a shot with it. Let's just start out and go big on a clay pot.
A laser. Okay. Here we have a red button on top of the frame.
So I added a little Loctite about 1,000 rounds ago to all the screws holding everything together, and nothing has walked loose since. It's denoted on the bottom of the serial number with a V. So this was actually used.
All right, 5 in the cylinder. I meant 5 in the mag. So let's get it.
Generally, these guns cost about $750, give or take, depending on the features you're looking for. If you're looking for that short reset trigger.
Number 15, Heritage Rough Rider, $300. Heritage Manufacturing is known for its small bore and carbine Rough Rider models. The Rough Rider revolver series is known for existing as an aesthetic homage to the Old West. They're an affordable yet stunning replica of the famous Colt single-action Army. You'll find Heritage revolvers in many different colors, grip styles, barrel lengths, and finishes, with new designs based on the same basic Rough Rider concept. They have a wide variety of color options and material finishes and the ability to customize your firearm out of the factory. So it's really for people looking for a standout personal side piece or just a fun-looking firearm. The Heritage Rough Rider is an old Western-themed firearm that comes in many appearances. The finish isn't as clean as other weapons, and to be honest, it looks relatively cheap. The aluminum barrel and cylinder are covered in a sprayed-on blued coating that will mimic high-quality bluing, but you'll notice an uneven coating if you pay close attention. The Heritage Rough Rider is a fairly simple revolver without many modern features. There's a swing-out loading gate on the right side behind the cylinder to load the cylinder one cartridge at a time. On the bottom of the barrel toward the muzzle, you'll find the spring ejector, which you can use to remove the spent casing one at a time. There's a modern thumb safety on the left side of the hammer with a red dot indicator to indicate the safety is off. You can also lock the hammer into 4 positions: the first click for the original safety, the half-cocked position for loading and unloading, the full-cocked firing position, and the fired position. On the whole, it's a well-balanced revolver and tends to point naturally. It feels like a simple extension of your shooting hand. It might be difficult for you to cock and shoot if you have huge palms, and the action might feel uncomfortable. However, the handle and grips generally feel good enough to shoot for an extended period. Number 14, Smith & Wesson M&P Revolver, $1,400. The military and police pistol was developed by Smith & Wesson Company. It first appeared in 2005. As its name suggests, it is intended for military and police sales. However, it is also available for civilian customers. This pistol is chambered for 40 S&W, 375 SIG, 45 ACP, and 9x19mm Parabellum ammunition. The 40 S&W version is mainly used by law enforcement use, while the 9x19mm is indented for military use. This pistol has a completely new design. It evolved from a Smith & Wesson Sigma. However, it looks different, and none of the parts are interchangeable. Also, it has some features of the Smith & Wesson SW99 pistol. The frame is made of polymer. Slide is made from stainless steel. Ergonomics was a key point designing this firearm. The military and police is short recoil operated. It uses Browning-type locking. The pistol has a double-action trigger. The M&P is fully ambidextrous. Slide release lever is located on both sides of the frame. The 9mm version of the M&P is fed from a 17-round magazine. Magazine release button is reversible. The pistol comes with 2 magazines. Both front and rear sights are dovetailed into the slide. These can be easily adjusted or replaced by tritium sights for shooting at night. Range of effective fire is about 50 meters. There is an accessory rail under the barrel. It can be used to mount laser pointer or tactical flashlight. Grip back straps are replaceable for improved ergonomics. Each pistol comes with 3 back straps or different shapes and sizes, so each shooter can tailor this pistol to suit his hand. Number 13, Glock 19 9mm, $530. The G19 is a mid-size pistol, shooting the 9x19mm pistol cartridge, a standard military round that's easy to find ammo for anywhere. The Glock 19 is a short recoil operated striker fire semi-automatic pistol. The safe action trigger system makes shooting in stress situations infallible. The main frame of the Glock pistol is constructed of high-strength polymer that is resistant to shock, caustic liquids, and temperature extremes. The milled steel slide and the barrel are treated with matte black Tenifer finish for extreme resistance to wear and corrosion. The Tenifer treated steel and polymer frame make this pistol impervious to corrosion caused by perspiration and humidity when carried close to the body or kept in a holster for extended periods of time. The slide cycles on 4 hardened steel guide rails within the frame. An integral accessory rail in front of the trigger guard allows for the attachment of aftermarket tactical flashlights or laser sights. The white dot front sight and the white bracket rear sight provide rapid acquisition in dim lighting situations. The rear sight is dovetailed into the slide and is drift adjustable. Glock pistols field strip easily without the use of tools. The Glock G19 semi-auto pistol is an ultra-reliable handgun that is easy to learn how to operate and maintain, making it an ideal choice for self-defense, whether it be for concealed carry, at home, or on duty. The model G19 comes with 2 standard 15-round magazines or 2 10-round magazines that comply with various city or state restrictions on magazine capacity. Number 12, Sig Sauer P229, $1,200. The Sig Sauer P226 is a full-size service pistol made by Sig Sauer. This model is available in 4 chamberings: the 9x19mm Parabellum, 40 S&W, 357 SIG, or 22 long rifle. It has the same mechanism of operation as the Sig Sauer P220, but is developed to use higher capacity double-stack magazines in place of the single-stack magazines of the P220. The P226 itself has spawned further subvariants. The P228 and P229 are both compact versions of the double-stack P226 design, while the P224 is a subcompact variant. The Sig Sauer P226 and its variants are in service with numerous law enforcement and military organizations worldwide. Number 11. Browning High-Powered 9mm, $2,000. The Browning High Power is one of the most iconic 9mm of all time. It's a single-action semi-automatic pistol available in the 9x19mm Parabellum and 40 S&W calibers. It was based on a design by American firearms inventor John Browning and completed by Dieudonné Saïve at FN Herstal. Standard high powers are based on a single-action design. Unlike modern double-action semi-automatic pistols, the high power's trigger is not connected to the hammer. If a double-action pistol is carried with the hammer down, with a round in the chamber and a loaded magazine installed, the shooter may fire the pistol either by simply squeezing the trigger or by pulling the hammer back to the cocked position and then squeezing the trigger. In contrast, a single-action pistol can only be fired with the hammer in the cocked position. This is generally done when a loaded magazine is inserted and the slide cycled by hand. In common with the M1911, the high power is therefore typically carried with the hammer cocked, a round in the chamber, and the safety catch on. The high power, like many other Browning designs, operates on the short recoil principle. The pistol has a tendency to bite the web of the shooter's hand between the thumb and forefinger. Another flaw is that the original small safety is very hard to release and re-engage. This is because when cocked, the shaft the safety turns on is under hammer spring pressure. Number 10, Remington 870 12-gauge pump, $400. The Remington Model 870 is a pump-action shotgun manufactured by Remington Arms Company, LLC. It is widely used by the public for shooting sports, hunting, and self-defense, as well as by law enforcement and military organizations worldwide. The 870 features a bottom-loading, side-ejecting receiver and a tubular magazine under the barrel. The gun comes with a plug for migratory bird hunting, which reduces the magazine's capacity to 2 rounds. It has dual action bars, internal hammer, and a bolt which locks into an extension in the barrel. The action, receiver, fire control group, safety catch, and slide release catch of the Remington Model 870 shotgun are similar to those used on the Remington Model 7600 series, pump-action centerfire rifles, and carbines. The basic fire control group design was first used in the automatic 1148. 12-gauge stocks will also interchange on the older 12-gauge size 20-gauge receivers, although modification is needed to fit the smaller size 20-gauge receivers employed since the late 1970s. Several parts of the 870, such as buttstocks and magazine tubes, will interchange with the semi-automatic Remington 1100 and 1187. The original 870 models were offered with fixed chokes. In 1986, Remington introduced the new Remington Rem choke system of screw-in chokes, also fitted to Remington Model 1100 auto-loading shotguns at the same time. Initially, the Rem chokes were offered only in 12-gauge and barrel lengths of 21, 26, and 28 inches. The following year, the availability was expanded to the 20-gauge and included other barrel lengths. The 870's production for over 30 years had a design flaw whereby a user could fail to press a shell all the way into the magazine when loading, so that the shell latch did not engage the shell, which could result in tying up the gun. This was caused by the shell slipping out of the magazine under the bolt in the receiver to bind the action, requiring rough treatment of the action or even disassembly. The potential issue was resolved with the introduction of the Flexi-Tab carrier. Guns with this modification can be identified by the U-shaped cutout on the carrier, visible from below the gun. The cutout, combined with modified machining on the underside of the slide assembly, allows the action to be opened with a shell on the carrier. Number 9. Benelli M4 12 gauge, $2,000. The Benelli M4 is a semi-automatic shotgun produced by Italian firearm manufacturer Benelli Army SPA, the fourth and last model of the Benelli Super 90 line of semi-automatic shotguns. The M4 uses a proprietary action design called the auto-regulating gas-operated system, which was created specifically for the weapon. Designed in 1998, the M4 was adopted by the Armed Forces of Italy, the US, the UK, among others, and has been used in a variety of conflicts. Its function is designed around an entirely new design called the Argo system. The Argo incorporates only 4 parts, 2 symmetrical 4-end shrouds containing 2 small steel pistons that push directly against the bolt. Additionally, the weapon is self-regulating for use with shot shells of varying lengths and power levels. It can fire 2.75 and 3-inch shells of differing propellant loads without any operator adjustments and in any combination. Low-power rounds, such as less lethal baton rounds, must be cycled manually. The sights are military-style ghost ring and are adjustable in the field using only the rim of a shell. The Milstead 1913 Picatinny rail on top of the receiver allows use of both conventional optical sights and night vision devices, while retaining use of the original iron sights. The modular basis of the shotgun means many of its features can be reconfigured as needed. Preliminary testing of the M4 suggests a high level of reliability. It can reliably function for at least 25,000 rounds without replacement of any major parts. The steel components of the weapon feature a matte black phosphated corrosion-resistant finish, while the aluminum parts are matte hard anodized. These finishes reduce the weapon's visibility during night operations. The weapon requires little maintenance and operates in all climates and weather conditions. The buttstock is collapsible on the M4 model and on M1014. Collapsing the buttstock shortens the weapon by almost 8 inches. The Picatinny rail built into the top of the shotgun accepts scopes, laser illuminators, night vision sights, and flashlights. Number 8. Remington 700 3006 Springfield, $1,000. The Remington Model 700 is a series of bolt-action center-fire rifles manufactured by Remington Arms since 1962. It is a development of the Remington 721 and 722 series of rifles, which were introduced in 1948. The M24 and M40 military sniper rifles used by the U.S. Army and Marine Corps, respectively, are both based on the Model 700 design. The Remington 700 series rifles often come with a 3, 4, or 5-round internal magazine, depending on the caliber chambered, some of which have a hinged floor plate for quick unloading, and some of which are blind with no floor plate. The rifle can also be ordered with a detachable box magazine. The Model 700 is available in many different stock, barrel, and caliber configurations, with many third-party and aftermarket variants in the market built on the same action footprint. From 1978 to 1982, Remington offered the Sportsman 78, which is the same Model 700 action but with cheaper features such as a plain stock without checkering. The Sportsman 78 was not included in the recall that affected the trigger group. Thousands of Remington Model 700 customers have complained to Remington that a defect in the trigger mechanism could fire the gun without the trigger being squeezed. Remington received nearly 2,000 complaints from 2013 through 2016. 150 lawsuits have been filed against Remington alleging injury or death related to the trigger. Lawsuits have alleged that Remington covered up a design flaw in the trigger mechanism, resulting in dozens of deaths and hundreds of serious injuries. A class action lawsuit alleges Remington knowingly sold a defective product. The attorneys general from 9 states and the District of Columbia objected to the proposed settlement in the class action, saying that Remington has long known of the defect and that the proposed settlement fails to adequately protect public safety. Though Remington has since changed to a new, cheaper trigger mechanism design, the original Walker trigger is still produced for the U.S. military and buyers of custom rifles. On December 6, 2014, Remington announced that as part of actions put into place to settle multiple lawsuits and to avoid future legal actions, they are replacing all triggers in the Model 700s. Over 7.85 million rifles are included in this agreement, making all of them eligible for the replacements. Number 7. Aero Precision AR-15, $1,000. The Aero AC-15 complete rifle is a budget-friendly, high-quality rifle featuring mil-spec parts and accessories made in America. This cost-efficient rifle is ready to operate straight out of the box and can easily be upgraded over time. Don't sacrifice quality to save money. Buy from Aero Precision and have confidence in your rifle. All Aero Precision complete rifles are assembled by professional gunsmiths and are tested prior to leaving the facility. It has a standard M4 upper receiver with a 16-inch 5.56 NATO carbine-length barrel. The 1-7 twist, 4150 chrome moly vanadium, QPQ corrosion-resistant finish, M4 profile make it superior. It has Magpul M-Bus rear sight, A2 front sight. It has a standard M4 carbine handguard with double heat shield. It's equipped with a carbine-length gas system and A2 pinned front sight block. Standard A2 flash hider muzzle device is a piece of art which is supported by a Gen 2 lower receiver with flared magwell and upper tension screw. The buffer kit is a standard mil-spec AR-15 M4 buffer kit, while it's kitted out with a standard A2 pistol grip. The magazine is a Magpul 30-round PMag. Number 6. Springfield M1A SOCOM, $3,000. The Springfield Armory M1A is a semi-automatic rifle made by Springfield Armory Inc., beginning in 1971, based on the M14 rifle for the civilian and law enforcement markets in the U.S. M1A is a proprietary name for Springfield Armory's M14 pattern rifle. Early M1A rifles were built with surplus GI parts until Springfield Armory Inc. began manufacturing their own. Robert Reese bought Springfield Armory from Elmer Balance and moved the manufacturing to Geneseo, Illinois in 1974. The Springfield Armory M1A is, for the most part, identical to the M14. There are, however, a few important differences. M1A receivers are made from Precision Investment cast AISI 8620 alloy steel. The military M14 receivers were manufactured using the drop forge process, which is more complicated and more expensive. Until around the late 1900s, the M1A produced by Springfield Armory retained the cutout in the rear sight of the stock for the selector switch found on the M14. Springfield Armory has also omitted the 7.62mm caliber designator on the M1A receiver since 1991. Once the federal assault weapons ban of 1994 was passed, prohibiting the manufacture of firearms with bayonet lugs, among other features, the M1A no longer shipped with a bayonet lug. Although the 1994 law expired in September 2004, making bayonet lugs on newly manufactured firearms legal again in most states, Springfield Armory has not restored that feature. Since the bayonet lug is attached to the flash suppressor, post-ban rifles can easily be fitted with a bayonet lug by fitting a pre-ban flash suppressor. The California assault weapons ban prohibits flash suppressors on all semi-automatic rifles capable of accepting a detachable mag. As a result, Springfield Armory designed a muzzle brake, which they installed in place of the standard flash suppressor on all models that were sold in California. The muzzle brake reduces climb of the barrel, making the rifle easier to control. Number 4. Glock 17, $1,000. Glock is a brand of polymer-framed, short recoil-operated lock-breech semi-automatic pistols designed and produced by Austrian manufacturer Glock. Reliability and simplicity have made Glock G17 semi-auto pistol one of the most widely used sidearms in law enforcement worldwide. The Glock G17 is a full-size service pistol, shooting the 9x19mm pistol cartridge, a standard military round that's easy to find ammo for anywhere. The Glock 17 is a short recoil-operated striker-fire pistol. The safe-action trigger system makes shooting in stressed situations infallible. The mainframe of the Glock semi-automatic pistol is constructed of high-strength polymer that is resistant to shock, caustic liquids, and temperature extremes. The milled steel slide and the barrel are treated with matte black Tenifer finish for extreme resistance to wear and corrosion. The Tenifer-treated steel and polymer frame make the pistol impervious to corrosion caused by perspiration and humidity when carried close to the body, or kept in a holster for extended periods of time. The slide cycles on 4 hardened steel guide rails within the frame. An integral accessory rail in front of the trigger guard allows for the attachment of aftermarket tactical flashlights or laser sights. The white dot front sight and the white bracket rear sight provide rapid acquisition in dim lighting situations. The rear sight is dovetailed into the slide and is drift adjustable. Glock pistols field strip easily without the use of tools. The Glock G17 semi-auto pistol is an ultra-reliable handgun that is easy to learn how to operate and maintain. making it an ideal choice for self-defense, whether it be in the field, at home, or on duty. The Model G17 comes with 2 standard 17-round magazines or 2 10-round magazines that comply with various city or state restrictions on magazine capacity. Number 3. Mossberg, $500. The Mossberg 500 is a series of pump-action shotguns manufactured by O.F. Mossberg & Sons. Mossberg 500 pump-action shotgun provides a remarkable combination of modern design, custom-type features, and affordability. Features include 3-inch chambers, quiet carry dual-action bars, and a top tang-mounted ambidextrous safety. Includes a 28-inch vent rib barrel, twin bead sights, and 3-choke AccuSet choke system. Handsome wood stock with cut checkering and blue barrel. The 500 series comprises widely varying models of hammerless repeaters, all of which share the same basic receiver and action, but differ in bore size, barrel length, choke options, magazine capacity, stock, and forearm materials. Model numbers included in the 500 series are 500, 505, 510, 535, and 590. The Revelation 310 and the New Haven 600 were also variations of the 500 series produced by Mossberg under different names. By 2021, 11 million M500s had been produced, making it the most produced shotgun of all time. Number 2. Winchester 70, $1,000. The Winchester Model 70 featherweight bolt-action rifle is slightly slimmer, trimmer, and lighter weight than the Sporter model to enhance fast handling as well as ease of carry. The featherweight uses the same controlled round claw extractor as the Pre-64 style, which grabs hold of the cartridge's rim shortly after it leaves the magazine and guides it to the chamber, regardless of the angle the rifle is being held, and prevents jams caused by double feeding. The large claw Mauser-type extractor also provides maximum surface contact on the cartridge's rim for sure extraction of the spent casing, and a solid blade-type ejector reliably clears empty cases from the action. A 3-position safety allows the shooter to load or unload the Model 70 featherweight with the safety engaged in the mid-position. The bolt is locked down with the safety fully to the rear, where it is extremely unlikely to accidentally get knocked to the fire position when carrying the rifle in rugged terrain. Winchester's MOA trigger system has 0 trigger creep and no over-travel after the firing pin has been released. The excellent trigger, combined with a hammer-forged, free-floated barrel and forged steel receiver with a bedded integral recoil lug, provide exceptional accuracy. The satin-finished walnut stock features cut checkering, a Schnabel forend, and a Pachmayr recoil pad. The Winchester Model 70 featherweight bolt-action rifle is an outstanding choice for avid hunters who are looking for a quick-handling rifle that delivers exceptional accuracy with modern, long-range cartridges. Number 1. Winchester 94. No knock on Marlin, but say deer rifle, and most folks will envision Winchester's ubiquitous straight-gripped carbine Model 94. The Model 94's credentials need nothing in the way of embellishment. Designed by John Browning, it was the first smokeless, high-powered American sporting rifle, with more than 7.5 million made. The Winchester Model 1894 rifle, also known as the Winchester 94 or Model 94, is a lever-action repeating rifle that became one of the most famous and popular hunting rifles of all time. It originally chambered to fire 2 metallic black powder cartridges, the 3240 Winchester and the 3855 Winchester. It was the first rifle to chamber the smokeless powder round, the 30 WCF, in 1895. In 1901, Winchester created the new 32 Winchester Special Caliber with production of rifles starting in 1902. The Model 1894 was produced by the Winchester Repeating Arms Company from 1894 to 1980, and then by U.S. Repeating Arms under the Winchester brand until they ceased manufacturing rifles in 2006. Reproductions are being made by the Miroku Company in Japan and imported into the U.S. by the Browning Arms Company of Morgan, Utah. The Model 1894 has been referred to as the ultimate lever-action design by firearms historians such as R.L. Wilson and Hal Herring. The Model 1894 is the rifle credited with the name Winchester being used to refer to all rifles of this type, and was the first commercial sporting rifle to sell over 7 million units. 3 major changes have been made in the design and construction of the Winchester 1894 since World War II. All of these major changes are tied to Winchester's corporate leadership and direction. The first and largest came in 1964, after the 1963 resignation of gun enthusiast John M. Olin from the presidency of the company he founded, Olin Corporation. The second came in 1982, after Olin's 1981 sale of the Winchester factory to its employees, who formed the U.S. Repeating Arms Company. The third came in 1992 after the 1989 bankruptcy of U.S. Rack and its subsequent purchase by F.N. Herstal, which sought to market Winchester firearms worldwide. That's all we have for you, folks. Join us next time.